What would it mean for you to get your hand raised in January, get back in the win column?
To be honest, it would mean a lot to me right now. You know what I mean? Like, I need the W, especially on my record and who I am, and more than that, mentally. You know what I mean? So I want to go out on a win and give it my all. You know what I mean? So I'm going to train my ass off, and yeah, it would mean the world to me.
From MMA Island.
Christopher de Santiago with MMA Island. Today I'm talking to a former Bellator fighter and 26 fight veteran, Ryan the Lion Lilley. Ryan, how's it going today, man?
Doing good, my man. Thank you, Chris, for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. Thanks for taking the time today, man. I guess first question, how would you reflect on this year that you've had? Obviously, you had that fight cancellation in August. Can you talk to me about this year that you've had?
Yeah, it's been a little struggle to be honest. I fought for Cage Warriors in December, main event versus Damon Wilson. I lost that one, and then he went to Contender Series, and I wish him the best. And then I fought another guy, Lucian Ramos, and then Joe Murphy, right? And I felt like I was winning those pretty decently, right? Until I was winning until I wasn't. I just got caught in a bad submission, to be honest. So after that one, I got offered a good fight and good pay with up next fighting against Tony Cortez, and that fight was booked twice. Yeah, once in August or once in May, and then once in August. And yeah, he pulled out twice. So now we're back to January 31st. I got a new opponent. George from Up Next Fighting hit me up, and I said no at first because I had no idea who the guy was. He has like a 3-0 record. I'm not trying to fight these young up and comers, right? I want to fight these veterans or, because I have a name and stuff like that. But I said no at first. They came back with more money, and now we're here.
Mhm. Did I see that you had back and forth going on between you and Jose Cortez? Did you have beef with him?
Yeah, I mean, every time we had a podcast, it was good, you know what I mean? But him and I have trained together when he was really young, and I fought with LFA. I knocked out Jordan Winsky. They all came to my after party afterwards in my hotel room. So yeah, we've been cool. Um, and then I got offered to fight him, and it was a good payday. So I said yes, and then he said yes, and then yeah, he couldn't show up twice. You know what I mean? So, but shit happens.
I do want to ask you about your Bellator career.
Yep.
Your debut, you get the head kick knockout in the first round. I was surprised that they didn't bring you back for like a multi-fight deal. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that and why that didn't happen?
Yeah, I fought James Barnes. He had G Spate, Albert Morales, ex-UFC fighter. I get the call. I always wanted to fight him. He's a black belt. And so I said yes, and I fight him, and he had a really good record, and then I'm like, I believe my record was like 9-3 at the time. So I'm coming in there as an underdog, my Bellator debut. He's been there for a little while, and I go in there and knock him out in the first round. And it's on the same card as Fedor Emelianenko and Ryan Bader at the Fabulous Forum. And yeah, I thought I was going to get a multi-fight contract. I was really bummed that I didn't. I fought with LFA prior to that, and I just felt like they all treated me really well. So since I didn't get the contract, I went back with LFA, and I lost a split decision. And even the promoter, Ed Suarez, everybody who was working there thought I won. I thought I had won, but the judges didn't think I won. So I went and I went on a little slope after that. So I started drinking a little bit, ended up getting a DUI and not feeling good, just depressed to be honest, because I know that was my way in. You know what I mean? And then so that happens, and then I get a call from LFA again to fight like Raufeon Stots. So that was good. But yeah, that was a little while
I
ago.
guess what was it like to fight under the Bellator banner? You did it twice, and I know that you might not have gotten the multi-fight contract, but what was it like to fight for them in such a big stage as well?
Yeah, Jane over there, they all treated me really well to be honest, and take care of me. And yeah, I wish they were still around, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like the
Yeah.
MMA MMA, like, it's starting to go a little lower. Like, if you're not in the UFC, then who you going to fight for? PFL or one? It's like, then we're sticking with these local promotions and regional promotions, which is good too. But you can't really make a livelihood off that. So it's kind of hard, you know what I mean? So after COVID, I stopped working full time and doing my training and stuff like that too. But then the fight stopped. And then I fought with ex-MMA, fought Francisco Rivera, coming off the couch on 2 weeks' notice. I'm sure he was too. And yeah, so yeah, life is MMA is just a bunch of highs and lows.
And that was XMMA one, right? When you fought Rivera, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Awesome. Yeah, I went to
Care of us really well too, to be honest.
yeah, my first MMA show that I covered as media was XMMA two, and they had some really good events over there.
Yep.
I do want to ask you about the competition that you fought. Francisco Rivera Jr., Raufeon Stots, former interim champion at Bellator, Albert Morales twice, Andre Ewell, Jesse Strader. All of those guys were UFC veterans beside Raufeon Stots. Can you talk to me about the strength of competition that you fought, and I guess who gave you your toughest fight?
I mean, yeah, they were all tough fights, to be honest. But that's what gets me off the couch. You know what I mean? I always wanted to fight someone that was above me because I knew I was going to be in the UFC one day, and just fighting these tough guys got me motivated and made me work. You know what I mean? My toughest fight, I mean, Andre Ewell was a tough fight, but I mean, I won that one. I mean, Jordan Wensky, I took that on 2 weeks' notice. I was supposed to lose that one. He never made it to the UFC. Raufeon Stots, man, I won that first round. The second round was close, and he just wrestled my ass in the third round. You know what I mean? So I give him props. I mean, he probably became the highest fighter who I did fight because he was Bellator champ, and wish him all the best still. But yeah, you could say Raufeon Stots. Um, I wasn't really in shape when I fought Francisco Rivera. It was COVID. We had no audience there. I flew to West Palm Beach, Florida. When I fought Raufeon Stots, I fought him in Kearney, Nebraska, in his hometown. Also, you know what I mean. So, yeah, I would say Raufeon Stots was a tough fight.
Mhm. What's the coolest place that you fought at?
The what coolest?
Yeah, the coolest place.
The Fabulous Form.
Oh,
So
nice, man.
got that head kick knockout. You know what I mean? So, and then I got to be on the card with Fedor Emelianenko, Ryan Bader. There's all the killers on there. It was pretty cool because me growing up as a Laker fan and living in SoCal, walking through the under tunnels and seeing all the pictures and the wall frames and all that, it was I just felt like I'm there, like I belong here.
hmm What do you make of the landscape right now, Ryan? Because, like you said, Bellator's out of the picture, and now outside of the UFC, I feel like there's only PFL, and I feel like one championship's coming back on the MMA fight. So, what do you make of the landscape right now?
I mean, yeah, if you get invited, I would say I'll tell like fighters right now if they're coming up, get some good wins and try to make it to the contender series, and then go to the UFC. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know how long PFL is going to be around for. One championship still around, but I mean, again, you want your people there, your fans there, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I would say Dana White Contender Series, and then hopefully you get the call. Or even if you lose in Dana White Contender Series and it was a good fight and you give it your all and we went to decision, and you could still get the call.
hmm On your Instagram story, you posted a video of, I believe it was you getting the standing submission guillotine by way of guillotine. Was that your first one? And can you talk to me a little bit more about that finish?
Yeah, so it was crazy. That was a gladiator challenge, and I got an opponent exchange the day of the fight. And the guy who I ended up fighting was from Sean Lochner's camp, who's an ex-UFC fighter, right? And I knew he was the guy who I was fighting was going to be he was a military guy. And I was fighting his teammate. His teammate didn't want to fight me, supposedly. So I fought his teammate. And yeah, the first round, he kept trying to take me down, and I snuck that in, and that was my first standing guillotine. I believe I have 2 or 3 standing submissions as a pro.
How many fights would you like to have next year?
Next year, I mean, I'm gonna start it off with the bang. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come out this kid. I don't know much about him. He's never fought a dog like me. Let's see how this fight goes. You know what I mean? So I am getting older. If I get something happened to me in the first round, I'd probably have one more fight. But also, if I do a good job in this fight and give it my all, I could be fighting for a title soon. So even though coming off some losses, but depending on how I finish this guy, yeah, I like to like 3, 4 fights next year.
Hmm. I believe your next opponent has like 3 fights. You have like 26. I guess how much will experience play a factor in this fight?
Well, I'm gonna be right in his face. You know, he comes out of a good camp, highest stand, and yeah, I'm gonna give it my all and just be right in his face. So we'll see. We'll see who lasts first.
What would it mean for you to get your hand raised in January, get back in the win column?
To be honest, it would mean a lot to me right now. You know what I mean? Like I need the W, especially on my record and who I am, and more than that, mentally. You know what I mean? So I want to go out on a win and give it my all. You know what I mean? So I'm going to train my ass off, and yeah, it would mean the world to me.
Hmm. I started a new segment on my show where it's like I ask fighters what they've been watching or reading. I guess what have you been watching in terms of TV shows, Ryan?
To be honest, all I watch is YouTube. I
Oh
mostly watch
yeah,
YouTube. I watch a couple little things on Netflix here and there. But I watch all the fights, all the interviews, all press conferences. I watch it all. You know what I mean? Because when I have time, that's what I do at home.
do you do any reading at all?
I not as much reading. I would like to get into that. I think it would help me sleep a lot better. At least read right before I go to sleep. If not, put on my headphones and have a book read to me. But yeah, I should definitely get more into that.
What kind of music are you into?
I like rock, hip hop. I'm starting to get into the country a little bit here and there. Uh, I could do a little, yeah, little punk rock, just not like the yelling in my ears and the screaming.
Hmm. What's your favorite movie about fighting?
Movie about fighting? Well, I have to go with Here Comes the Boom because my coach Boss Rutan was in there. So Boss plays himself, you know what I mean? So Boss is the same person that you see on TV that he's outside of on TV, and he treats everyone equal. So that's what I love about him. He did just move to Texas last year, so I don't see him as much, but I'm still in contact with him, and yeah, he's doing good. He just got done with the movie with The Rock, and yeah, the what
Hmm.
Smash Machine?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you're born and raised in California, right?
Yes, yep.
Awesome. What's the coolest thing about living over there?
It's always sunny. Wearing a t-shirt. I can go to the beach, or I can go camping, or I can go snowboarding. Probably all in the same day, depending on the year. And
Nice.
yeah, it's expensive, right? I live in an RV right now. I'm on private property. I don't have no kids, no wife yet. Trying to have a girlfriend soon. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, I'm happy.
Awesome, man. Well, same here, same here. Well, thanks so much again for the time, Ryan. Is there anything that you want to leave with the fans out there watching?
No, just stay blessed and thank you so much, Chris.